Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I am working as DevOps engineer. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can Dockerize our Django application, and later on in my videos, I will show you how we can scale our Django application by deploying on AWS cloud and GCP cloud. But in this video, I'm going to demonstrate the Dockerization of your application. It is going to be a it is going to be a really simple application, Django application, um, which include the salary, Django, and supervisor. And I'm going to show you the deployment without supervisor and with supervisors. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of not using supervisor? So let's begin. I've already spin up a machine, and in this machine I've installed the Docker and Docker Compose. So I've already SSH'd into this machine, and I've put the code in my public repository in GitHub. So you can have the link as well. I will provide you the link as well. So let's begin. So what I will be doing. So let me show you guys the code as well. So this is our code. This is our Django application. So first of all, what I will be doing, I will be showing you guys how to deploy your Django application by not using supervisor. So I'm going to show you the disadvantages of this architecture as well. Because if you want to deploy your application uh, in a cloud and you want to scale, this has limitation. Limitation is that um, you have to bound or I should say you have to mount your application in a directory. So scaling will be uh, not that good as compared to the one if you use the supervisor. If you use the supervisor. So let me show you that part because your Django application needs a salary, and we use the salary Redis and salary write some files which are required by Django and vice versa. So you have to mount that particular directory. For instance, this is the app which I'm going to be mounting on my host machine. And if you see the uh, salary area, that particular mount is also consumed by the salary as well. So this particular code is already uh, available on my EC2 machine. So if I navigate to Django, okay. So if I navigate to no supervisor, okay. So I'm not going to use supervisor here. So let me show you what I mean by that. So if I do Docker compose up -d and dash dash build. So what it does that it will actually make our containers up. Along with that, the build part is that it is going to build our application as well. So it is going to build our Django application. Let me show you that as well. So what we are doing here, our application is going to be available on port 8000, and I will show you that uh, the security group I've allowed on port 8000 as well. So this is the environment variable directory in which Postgres credential are available, which are going to be consumed by the salary and our application for connection. So make sure that you should have credential available. You can use a Docker file, or when I will be using the cloud, I will use on AWS. I will be using AWS Secret Manager, and I will also show you the deployment on GCP, on GKE, and Google Cloud Run services. So I will be also using the Secret Manager as well. So in this demo, this is just a demonstration and give you more understanding what architecture we should be using with regard to the scaling of our Django application. So you see our containers are up. If I do Docker compose ps, you will be seeing that our containers are up. So if I navigate to uh, the AWS Management Console, and simply I will be copying this and I will be putting this here, and I have to provide the port as well on which our app is listening. So it is listening on port 8000. Okay, this is available. So one thing I need to show you that it is saying that allowed hosts part as well. So you see, you need to allow this source. So if I, for the sake of this demo, what I will be doing, simply I will be um, so this directory is mounted. So if I do cd into this app and navigate to the app area, let me zoom in a bit for you guys. Open the settings.py and you will be seeing that allowed hosts are this. So I will be allowing all. Okay, save it. So guys, you see the instant change has affected because this directory is mounted on this particular container. Let me show you that particular container as well. So nothing wrong with this architecture in a way that if you looking not to scale and if you looking to deploy your application on a single server, that is fine. But if you move to ECS or EKS like AWS Kubernetes or GCP Cloud Run or GKE, so the reason for migration to those service to those services like Cloud Run, ECS or EKS is that you want to scale your application. So this architecture is not going to be that much effective because the mount involved. So mount, what why we are doing, as I already told you, that the Celery and the Django need those files. So instead of using this architecture, what I've done, I've used the supervisor. So instead of mounting those particular directories, what I will be doing through supervisor, I will be using uh, our application, and Salary will be also available. So let me show you that architecture as well. So that would be quite a bit much more scalable architecture as compared to that. So what I will be doing now, I will be tearing down this and let me show you that application is going to be gone in a few minutes. So okay, so if I navigate to other section, so which is the supervisor section. So let me show you that part as well. So let me close this, navigate to the supervisors section. In this, I have two directories. So you guys wondering that why we have two directories here. One I've used Nginx and extra Nginx Django Redis Salary Supervisor, and another I have not used the Nginx. So let's go with this one. So let me show you the Docker Compose file for this architecture. You see the file is quite a bit small as compared to that particular architecture, and the other part is that you will see no mounting as well. So let me show you that as well. So what I will be doing now, I will be moving to Django again, and this time I'm going to moving to navigate to supervisor. So as I told you, we have two directories here. First of all, I'm going to show you the architecture with Nginx and without Nginx. So if I navigate to uh, this architecture without Nginx, and later on I'm going to show you that architecture with Nginx and that particular Docker file as well. So if I do the similar command here, Docker compose up -d dash dash build. Guys, this video is not with regard to the development of your application. This video is with regard to the deployment or more of a DevOps sort of requirement you have with regard to the deployment of your application, scalability of your application. So development part definitely is not covered here. So I'm going to use the similar command here, Docker compose up dash build. So you will see that our application is still going to be available, but without any mounting of directories. I will be using the salary along with Nginx. Sorry, salary and our application. So let me show you that part as well once it's completed. So this is the code, and what we are doing here, our application is going to be built with this particular Docker file. So let me show you the Docker file as well. So what I have done here, that pretty much secure approach I have used with regard to the building of our application, and the Docker file is a bit lengthier here in a way that I will be using two parts. So it is definitely more a secure way to deploy your application in Docker container. So let me show you that part as well. So in first part, what I will be doing, that I will be using the Python 3.7 Alpine, and I'm going to put all my code in Cloud Geeks. So my work directory is going to be /app. Okay, this is the Python buffered. So anything with regard to the buffering should not be, is going to be a concern. So this is more of a Python stuff. So anyway, you have to concentrate more on the Docker file and deployment architecture. So I will be using these packages. I'm not going to give you a lot more detail because the length of the video is going to be too long. So because I have to complete the other part as well. So anyway, I'm going to give you the basics. So I will be using one user here. I'm going to add one user. The username is going to be app, user directory, sorry, UID and GID, user ID and group ID is going to be this one. So these are the commands. I'm not going to give a lot more detail here, so pretty much self-explanatory. So what I will be doing, that I will be copying my code into this particular directory, and I'm going to give permission to this particular directory, to this user, to that particular user which I have mentioned above. So um, although I'm copying the Nginx configuration, which I will be covering later in my next step, but we are not going to use Nginx here, as you seen in my Docker Compose file. So these are the configuration with regard to the salary, and I'm not going to use salary beat or other stuff. So just basic salary stuff. So I'm going to show you the supervisor part here. So this is the supervisor configuration. So if you see the supervisor configuration, what I will be doing here, that supervisor is not going to be run as a daemon, and uh, so the program is going to be app, and I'm using this particular app.shell script, and in this app.shell script I will be using my commands. Let me show you that command. So these are the command with regard to the Python 3 manage.py migrate and all those particular command. It is going to wait for database, and it is going to run our server on port 8000. Okay, so anyway, as I told you, this is I'm not going to cover. This is just for your understanding that you can use Celery Beat and Celery inside a single container. So our containers are up. Let me show you Docker Compose PS. Okay, and you see three containers are up, which includes the Redis and database Postgres. Along with that, our application container, in that particular application container, we have Celery available. So if I navigate to this particular section, you see this is available. But you see, I have um, I have a mount as well. So if I navigate to mount as well, so as I told you, mount is not going to be work here, because the reason for that I've already shown you that uh, I'm not using mount here. So let me show you that part as well. So when I navigate to navigate or Docker exec into my container, this approach will work because we are not using mount here. The mount we are um, using in previous step because of the files required by the Celery and Nginx. So if I navigate to refresh, you see nothing happens. So how it is going to affect, because if you see we have three containers running. So if I navigate to Docker exec interactive shell into my particular app, and if I do take a shell, so this is the Alpine container. You see, this is the root, and I'm not able to install anything. Let me try to install apk add vim. You see permission denied. So this is the very secure way to run your container. Let me show you PSAUX. I can show you the processes running, which include my application, the salary workers are available, and our application are running. So how can I change this settings.py? So I will be showing you guys to uh, the application page. So I need to allow those posts as well. So what I will be doing, so I will be simply using the user root uh, to exec into this particular container. You see my this sign changes to hash, so I'm root. So let me apk add vim. So you see I'm able to install the vim here. So now what I will be doing, if I navigate to app dot uh, app cd into app directory, and if I navigate to settings.py, and simply if I make change here to allowed host, you will be see that our changes are going to be effect now. So let me simply update. I don't need to start anything. So simply when I save and refresh the page, you will be seeing that our application is going to be available. So guys, this is the approach. So let me show you the logs as well. If I navigate to Docker, if I navigate to Docker logs and our application logs with regard to the supervisor, you see. So you see, Celery is run as a process inside this particular container, and application is running as a process in this container. So the thing I need to show you guys here, or want to share with you guys, if you run a supervisor in a container, and if there is a requirement there where you have to share your files in a container and you want to scale, so you can use supervisor as well. This approach is pretty much correct. I mean, uh, instead of, if you mount your directories, and if you navigate to other clouds, and if you look for other file system, instead you can use the supervisor inside the container, and that is where you allow your application to share the files as well inside the same container. So we have no issues with that. So let me do one more time exec into this particular container and show you the processes as well. So if you see, if I do ps aux, you see that supervisor D is running, you see, uh, in the as a process, and all other R processes are running with the user name app, you see. So supervisor D is running with the app user. I use the app user to make permission and all the stuff shown you in that particular Docker file. So that is very secure approach. And let me show you APK add net tools. So this is the Alpine, so that's why I have to use APK. If I do netstat hyphen netstat, okay, stat, okay, netstat apl ntu. You see, our app will be listening on port 8000. That is why we are able to access our application. So again, what I will be doing, I will be tearing down this architecture. So if I do Control D to exit, if I do Docker compose down, so I will be now moving to the last section of our video, and I want to share this understanding. So in my later videos, I will be covering the cloud architecture. So why we are using supervisor here and what is the reason for that. And I will provide you the link with regard to this particular deployment and approach in Django applications. So that is pretty much a neat way to use your application. You can use the Gunigon on your WSGI server, or whatever you want to use. You can use this approach and give you, and this approach give you more sort of idea how you can use the architecture in deployment of your application in cloud. So that is the reason to share this particular video. So if I navigate to the Django section, and I'm going to use the directory supervisor, and if I navigate to Docker Nginx this time. So what is the difference I will be showing you this time. So I'm going to close all other particular directories. So if I navigate to supervisor, and now I'm going to use this Nginx directory as well. So I'm going to first of all show you the Docker Compose file. The Docker file is going to be the pretty much same which I've already covered you guys, the secure way to deploy your application and the ports we are using. So this is just a little bit more detail as compared to the previous deployments I've already covered. So if I navigate to the Docker Compose section here, you see no mount points. But let me show you that particular part as well. So one thing here I need to show you that I've also not exposed the port for the Postgres as well, because guys, the port we are using are going to be available into that particular application by using the DNS name. So also I'm going to what I've done here, I have also removed the port with regard to the application 8000. So you guys are wondering how we are going to access our application. So our application is going to be accessed by Nginx, and what I have done, I've added one more build stage here and Docker file. The name of this particular Docker file is going to be different, Docker file Nginx. So in this particular directory, let me show you this Docker file uh, with the name Docker file Nginx. If I navigate to Docker file Nginx, so what I will be doing simply, I'm going to copy the Nginx configuration to this particular default path, and I will be using the Nginx Alpine. So what is this default in the next configuration? So uh, I've actually changed the name. Simply, I'm copying this directory and copying the name with this particular name. So if I navigate to the Nginx configuration, so let me first of all find it. It is somewhere, yeah, this is the one. So guys, it is a pretty much simple application. What I will be defining here that this is my API cloudgeeks.ca. So this is the proxy pass. I will be doing the proxy pass to my application. And as I told you, I have not exposed my application port to 8000 as I know my application is running on this particular 8000 port. If I navigate to the Docker file, the genuine Docker file with regard to the our application, you see I've already clearly mentioned that our port is going to be available on 8000. Although this expose means it is actually a comment. It doesn't mean that if you type here 10,000, your app is going to be available on 10,000. It doesn't really mean that. Lots of people have confusion with that expose, that if I type expose 9000, our application is going to be available on 9000. It is not like that. It is actually just a command. So what it does, when you run your container or your application, it gives you an idea or other person idea that the actual port of application, which is not actually exposed even, it has the port 8000. So that is how our Nginx, I'm telling other guys, if you use my Docker file, that is how Nginx is going to contact this particular port of the application. If you navigate to the Nginx conf, you see I'm telling Nginx that hey, although this port is not exposed by this application, but you have to look for this particular port uh, on 8000. So as I told you that this is quite a secure architecture where Nginx is going to contact the application and all the infrastructure is internal. So this is the .env file. In fact, when we navigate to the cloud, and what we can do, that simply we can use the secret manager as we already discussed. So I've discussed this part as well. So as I told you guys, I am in this section. So what I will be doing, if I navigate to the Docker Django Redis Service Supervised section, so if I do Docker compose up -d and dash dash build, so you will see that our application is not going to be available this time on port 8000 because 8000 port is not exposed by us. So even it is not exposed on the host as well. I will be showing you guys that how Nginx is going to access that particular port. It is going to access that particular port through the DNS name. And as we create this Docker Compose YAML, so it creates a custom network. So be a custom network, there is a service discovery. So that is how containers are able to communicate with each other. And that is why I have provided the DNS name of that particular application to Nginx, that you can contact that particular application on port 8000. So it is going to be shortly available, and you will see that our application, if I navigate to that particular, let me show you first of all docker ps-a, and if I do docker compose, it is similar command with a different output, bit of different understanding as well. So as I told you that it is just saying that our application is on available on 8000, but it is on internal network. It is not exposed. This is saying that hey, that all our port 80 is listening, or all listening on all interfaces, which means that the Docker proxy is working. So from our host network, we are able to access this. So if I navigate to the same section, if I simply refresh it, so you see this port 8000 is exposed. It is not going to respond here. You see, simply as I told you that this is proxied to port 80. So simply if you type the port 80, you see our application is now available. So as I told you that same stuff, that it is not mounted. What I need to do now, let me show you that part as well. First of all, I need to show you guys the logs as well. So if I navigate to uh, our application, so this is our application. I'm going to show you these logs. So application is running with process ID 13 and salary is running on port with process 14. So if I do docker ps -a, you see nginx is running as well. So nginx is listening on port 80. That is why we are able to access our application. But as I told you, the hosts are not allowed. So what I have to do, I have to docker exec into this particular uh, application. So this is my application. So simply I'm going to take a shell into this particular app. I will not be able to, you see, able to make changes. So again, I have to simply exit, and I will be using root to make changes into this particular container. So, so what I will be doing, I will be doing the same stuff we have already done. So I'm going to add Vim here. So you can use nano or whatever you want. So I'm going to Vim to settings.py. So I'm going to update our allowed hosts. So may put a star here, and that's it. So guys, if I simply refresh it, you see our application is now available. Congratulations, the install works successfully. So this is the approach, guys, you can use with regard to the deployment of your application. In my later videos, I will be showing you guys how we can scale our application by deploying on different clouds, on different services, EKS, ECS, GKE, Google Cloud Run. And we are going to use on AWS, we are going to use the RDS as the database, and on GCP, we are going to use the cloud SQL, SQL. That's it. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.